up, everybody? Welcome to Marchant Chevrolet in beautiful Ravenel, South Carolina, just 15 minutes outside of Charleston. Now, today's review is going to be a good one because we have been waiting an extremely long time now to review a diesel Equinox. So, with no further ado, let's go ahead and get this review started today on the 2018 Premier Equinox with turbo diesel. Here we go. So Americans have always been familiar with diesel vehicles in our trucks, and even going farther back to the turbo Mercedes-Benz and Volvos and all the different turbo vehicles that were on the road back in the day. And it seems that diesel vehicles are in an uptick again. Volkswagen started bringing them out even more with their Volkswagen Jettas, and Audi had turbos as well in their Audi Q5s and Q7s and whatnot, and many others out there in the marketplace in America. And Chevy has had turbo diesels for the longest of times. But, and there's a big but there, folks, finally we're seeing them in more common vehicles that you and me may drive on the road currently today. So to start out this review, we're going to go ahead and do it like we always do. Let's take a look at, you got it, the key fob. That's your Chevy key fob for the Equinox Premier. Premier is pretty much loaded up with about every feature possible you could ask for on one of these cars. It has your remote start, your power tailgate feature, your horn button there, and lock and unlock. Let's go ahead and crank this turbo diesel up and see how it sounds. So again, when you do remote start, you want to lock the vehicle, then hold this down for 5 seconds. Well, now the turbo diesel is cranked up and running. Have a listen for yourself. So of course, a turbo vehicle engine will always be louder than a gas engine, and of course it'll be louder than a hybrid or electric car. You can't hear those hardly at all. But one thing I can tell you, folks, with that clean diesel is that you should be getting a lot better fuel economy. We're talking a big 3.9 mile per gallon, and I'm sure people are getting even higher than that. All right, everybody, let's take a closer look at the lighting at the front of the Equinox, from headlights all the way down to the fog lights. First off, looking really nice. You got your daytime LED running light there, your projector headlight. Then you got those fogs and your blinkers at the bottom of the bumper, and just a beautiful front end on this car. Now let's take a look at the side body of the Equinox, right? Sits up pretty high off the ground. I mean, not too high. It's not a four-wheel drive vehicle, but high enough where you feel comfortable. You got a beautiful set of Michelin tires. They're a 225/60 series tire. And then those alloy wheels are 18-inch, and those alloy wheels are specific to the Premier package, where they're a 5-star that looks like they are spinning in motion while the vehicle stopped. So that looks good with the rims, the tires, the body looks great. Then going up to the top of the roof line there, you got those good looking roof racks going down the sides of the vehicle in silver, and then the panoramic glass sunroof stretching from the front to the back. People have been waiting for pano roofs with Chevy for quite some time, and it's finally available here on the Equinox and 2018 Chevy Traverse. Like I always say, the front looks great. Well, the rear looks great as well. We got the blinkers on for you today, so you can see the lights flashing. Now, the back of the Equinox, you're having a backup camera, the Premier logo on the back, the TD logo, which looks pretty cool, letting everybody know you got a turbo diesel. The bottom of the back bumper has sensors in it, so you can know exactly what's going on. And there is a 360 camera view on this vehicle that we're going to show you here shortly when we get on the inside. Also, you got a wiper off the back as well, like it should be with most crossover vehicles. Let's move in a little closer and start looking at the power tailgate and the rear cargo space. So your key has power tailgate on it. It's one of those features that you just want to have. Hit it twice, opens it right up, and as you can see, it gets up and moves up there pretty quickly, right? Now we got our camera bag in the back so you can kind of get a look at how much room you have, but pretty spacious in the back. Also, back seats fold down for a 40/60 back seat split, so if you need to get that 80-inch flat screen in from Best Buy, you got room, or whatever else you need to get in the vehicle. So a lot of space. Now, as long as the vehicle is unlocked while you're at the gas station, all you do is just walk up, press the door in, and then it pops open like you just saw. Now, you will notice inside of here something a little bit different than in a gas vehicle is, yes, the green is for diesel, and then you have the blue cap to the right for the AdBlue fluid that you'll be putting in the vehicle from time to time. So if you have a gas Equinox, it won't look like that. It'll just have this over here with a regular fuel cap, and put your fuel in and get on back down the road, happy as can be. To close it, just do like that, push that back in. Pretty simple. All right, so I know this may be a little tough to see because the Equinox has rear tinted windows, but there's a Maroni label here. The Maroni label is an important part of your job, Mr. Customer, when you're at the car lot. You really do need to take the time to pay attention to this. Look at the options that come on the vehicle and everything that you can look at while you're at the store. Don't let your sales guy rush you while looking at this. Seriously. Hopefully you get a salesperson that takes their time and maybe even reads off some of the options, or even takes a razor blade and gets that thing off for you when you go to buy it. But, well, I'll tell you what I see on it right now. First off, fuel economy. 39 highway, 28 city, average combined of 32 mile per gallon out of a diesel engine. That's good. It's the Premier. Up top, it's going to have 1.6 turbo diesel. It's got a 6-speed automatic transmission. Also, a part down here you're going to look at is the safety ratings rated by the IIHS, which stands for the Insurance Institute of Highway Safety. That's every American vehicle on the road today has to go through a rigorous inspection for safety to be able to get the stars that they need. The Chevy Equinox gets 4-star on rollover, which it seems to be most vehicles get 4-star rollover. 5-star side crash front seat, 4-star rear seat, and a side crash. Frontal crash, 5-star driver, 5-star passenger in the front, which is top of the line, 5-star general. 4-star overall vehicle score, so that's where you're at on the Chevy Equinox. So, again, make sure you look at the Maroni label, or they call it the sticker, window sticker. The MSRP on this vehicle is $38,550. So for a fully loaded, except for it doesn't have all-wheel drive, fully loaded though, Premier, $38,550 for a turbo diesel. It's a pretty good price right there. Go look at some of the other competitors out there and you'll see 38 is right around the range that these vehicles like this go for. If you want something a little more higher trim level compared to the base model. Now at Marchant Chevy, we sell all new vehicles $98 over factory invoice, no dealer admin fees, no dock fees, no processing fees, no dealer add-ons. You know, a lot of car dealerships have that little window sticker there that's got first place finish, wheel locks, rubber mats, all that kind of stuff. Sometimes, I've been at car dealerships, believe me, they have them from $2,000 to $3,000 in extra markup above the actual retail price. That makes it very uncomfortable for a customer because they have to negotiate on getting that taken off unless they just want to say, all right, whatever. But again, you don't deserve that kind of treatment in the car business, and we don't do that at Marchant Chevy, and we haven't been doing that ever that I know of. I've been here since 2011. They've been in business for over 30 years. No nonsense car buying, no aspirin needed at all. That's the commercials. That's how we do it. All right, let's take a look at the interior. Again, I'm 6'1", 215 pounds. Let's see how a grown man like myself can do. All right, let's go ahead and hop in on the inside. Now again, with your smart key with the vehicle, just keep the key in your pocket or purse. Most of y'all watching already know the shtick on that because they've been around quite some time, almost 10 years. But anyways, let's go ahead and hop in. One thing I pay attention to on vehicles is how quiet the cabin is, right? That's always important. Legroom, headroom, and comfort of the seats and all that kind of stuff. And I do, of course, like techie features and all that. I think Chevy is usually pretty good with this stuff. So anyways, as you can see, a guy 6'1" did pretty good getting in. I didn't bump my head up here. Got that massive sunroof, and the AC is blowing extremely cold on this warm spring day, which I like. Another great feature that the Equinox offers, at least on this Premier here, is cooled seats, which, oh, it feels, I'm starting to feel like an ice cube sitting here in the seat. That is nice. And the fans, as you can hear them right now, they blow extremely hard, which helps out to cool you off a lot faster. Before you know it, you're doing like this, and you're turning the fans down because you're already comfortable right after getting in. I really am. All right, let's cut our blinkers off and let's start looking around. All right, so one thing I'm going to point out right off the get-go, this is something I noticed today when I pulled the car out of the parking spot and brought it up to the front here, the steering wheel. When I was off camera, I was sitting here doing this earlier. I'm like, this feels really solid, and it feels really expensive and nice. So I'm really liking the steering wheel. You can really smell the leather in here right now, so you got real leather inside the car. I also like on the steering wheel how the buttons are nice and almost kind of flush in there, right? Got a heated steering wheel, got all your adaptive cruise control and all those cool features, blind spot monitoring system. I mean, you got all the safety features you need on your Equinox to really be safe as possible on the highway. I mean, cars are almost getting to be autonomous. This is, you know, this is what we're rolling into. So again, these safety features are great. Over here on the right-hand side, it's more flush-mounted type buttons, which look good and feel nice. Voice command, Bluetooth, and then you can use this to control that multi-information display screen that we're going to look at now, right in the middle. Again, this is pretty much our full in-depth review on the Equinox. At the end of the video, we will highlight a gas car, but we won't get in depth because they're going to be about the same at the most, you know, for the most part, other than the engines. So anyways, we can look at that screen there and see everything going on. Fuel range, I mean, just trip A, trip B, speed, you know, diesel exhaust fluid level, fuel life, fuel filter life. That's really interesting. I like that. Timer, average speed, fuel economy, lasts 50 miles, tire pressure monitoring system, oil life, fuel information, trip B, trip A. So as you can see in there, a lot of information about fuel consumption. Because I think someone that's buying a diesel vehicle probably might be more concerned with fuel consumption, right? Yeah, possibly. Anyways, let's keep looking around. So you've seen that. Over here on the left, lock and unlock button, a nice chrome handle. I have been kind of wild today with the fit and finish of this car. It really is nice. Everything lines up really well. You got leather on here, which is nice. You got the stitching, a spot right here to throw things in. You got your power windows, power mirrors, your light controls for headlights, fog lights, inside dimmer right down there. You got it down here. It's a little tough to see, but I'll zoom in as much as I can. That controls the power tailgate, and you can even go 3/4 height or off, or max height that goes all the way up in the back. And then more storage here as well. And there's a little icon down there on the speaker that says Bose, because yeah, you got a Bose stereo system in the car. I also like how you got this nice, kind of looks like a silver steel type finish going around embezzlements of the, you know, of the fans or whatever, the AC vents. And then you got perforated leather kind of rolling up onto here, and then more stitching and more leather. That's nice. On top of that, the Bose stereo system is definitely top of the line, and probably, you know, a lot better than what your normal car is going to come with. You got tweeters up there, center speaker here for voice, and more tweeters. Then the screen is really nice inside the car. It really is. Look at it. Check it out. Now, right now, it's got this plastic film on it, which I'm going to go ahead and pull off so we can take a look. But does that not look like a beautiful tablet just sitting right inside of there? Yeah, it does. Now, the camera's not giving it as much justice as it should, but the screen colors are nice and vibrant and nice and bright, okay? You got temperature, it's touch screen as well. I mean, look at all the app icons, and I mean, it's just a beautiful setup. Hit the camera button, check that out. You got your 360 camera view, you got behind the car. I mean, you can switch them around. Look at that. You got your guidelines, a wide angle view. Take them off, cut them on. So anyways, really nice setup with the cameras, which really become helpful when you have children or just parking it in a parking garage or whatever you got going on. This is the home button. Hit that. It takes us right on back. Again, a little tough to see, but hit this button here. You can do your presets for your radio station. I mean, traffic, phone, projection, nav, settings, weather, text messages, OnStar, all that stuff. There's the nav screen right there. So I'm loving it. I'm really loving it. And then you can hit audio button there, do your radio on the screen, phone, compass, or back to nav, text messages, camera. So even has the temperature up top, the time, and showing Wi-Fi 4G LTE. So you got built-in Wi-Fi inside your car. A lot of vehicles on the road now are starting to have that, and that's a great feature to have. I think Ford has it as well. You just got to go through AT&T. I'm not exactly sure on the Chevy, but again, built-in LG or 4G LTE is great to have, especially when you got kids and they want to open up a tablet, watch YouTube, or you need to get on your laptop, send an email real quick, and you're at a rest stop or whatever's going on. You got it right here in the car, and you don't have to use that hotspot on your phone. Again, that's not always the best connection. So anyways, that's great. All right, what else do we got going on, right? Well, temperatures down here, dual climate control, cooled seats like we spoke about earlier, heated seats right underneath. I'm going to leave those on for a second because I'm already kind of feeling a little warm today, so let's keep the cooled seats on. Start-stop engine button here, which is pretty common nowadays. Heated and cooled seats passenger side. So all your climate information is right there for temperatures. Radio is pretty much going to all go through the center console here with this screen. Down bottom, you have two USB ports down in there, auxiliary and 12 volt. And you also, there you go, you also have in there, you can take your phone, if you got one of those cool smartphones with the glass backing on it, wireless charging, just lay the phone in that spot and it will charge your phone up without even having to plug it in. So life just got a lot more techie for you and your family. Again, back to fit and finish. This feels great. It's leather wrapped. Nice little boot there. Got an electronic park brake. You got your cup holders here, nice and deep. More storage, and then a nice center armrest, which is big. Opens up, tons of storage. One thing I'm going to point out to you I like this, but I also like that you have a light right there. Because again, this is kind of like the junk drawer in your kitchen. Right? Yeah, it's deep. You throw all your junk in it when you're in the car. It's got two USB ports down there. So anyways, I like that it has a light in it. We did a review on one of the Fords last week, and a $80,000 Ford Expedition Platinum did not have a light in their junk drawer. How about that? Chevy does. Thank you, Chevy. Thanks for thinking about the little details. That's what it's all about buying a GM vehicle. Rear view mirror, just a traditional mirror. It's not like what you have on the new Chevy Traverse where you have it where you can hit a button here and it turns into a video camera. Okay? Maybe that's something in the future coming on the Equinox, but for now, just a traditional mirror, which seems to be fine for most Americans. OnStar comes standard in all GM vehicles. LED interior lighting right there. Sunglass holders right here. Very nice. And then your controls, and you have Home Link and controls for your moonroof, which is really big. By the way, check this out. You can crack it and open it up. You have this going on here, and it'll slide all the way back to where that right there center is. I'm not going to open it completely right now because it looks like it's about to rain. And then if you want to kind of make it a little darker in here because, you know, there's too much sun coming in and the kids are hot or whatever's going on, you got that shade there, and as you can see, it darkens it up pretty good. But we're going to leave it open because we're going to get in the back seats in a minute, and I really want y'all to see the view from back there. Anything else to go over in the front? Yes. Vanity mirrors. People don't always review these things, but I do. That's a big mirror, folks. It's not that it's big as in tall. It's pretty wide. which is nice. When your lady is doing her makeup in here, or a guy, or whatever you're doing, maybe you're popping a pimple or picking something out your teeth, you need a good sized mirror, and you got these little LEDs, you got 6 of them total, that makes it really bright. Kind of looks like one of those Hollywood mirrors at Broadway. You know, you're in there doing your, you know, whatever going on for a Broadway show. Yeah, you got those cool lights up there on the mirrors. That's what you got inside the Equinox. Yeah. Does it have it over here? Of course it does. Okay. Another great feature is your handles above every windowsill, because at some point Dad's going to get in here and drive and everybody's going to be holding on while going around corners. And then you do got little microphones above the windowsill there. Another one over here for that Bluetooth phone when you're doing, you know, the talking in the car over the speaker system. All right, let's look at headroom and let's go to the back. Plenty of it. We're good to go. Plenty of leg room. The seat's in position. If I were going to drive it home today, I'd be a happy camper. Let's go ahead and hop in the back, see how that's working. One thing to point out, door does open up pretty wide. It's about as wide as a car door is going to open up, right? About the same on the door panel. Got your cubby hole spots, all that good stuff. Let's go ahead and hop in. Before we do, let's look at the seats. Nice looking seat there, right? Well worth the $30,000+ that they asked for this car. Well, as you can see here, my leg is good. We got leg room. Something I didn't point out earlier was it's quiet in here when you close the doors. That's a sound deadener they do. Keep it nice and quiet. Now, I'm not sure how it is when you're actually driving down the road, but I can imagine it's pretty quiet. Sunroof looking great. Really makes it feel so open on the interior. I also like that it doesn't have black on the headliner up here. It's kind of a light gray. Again, makes it feel more open. And also, you know, if you get claustrophobic in vehicles, you don't get that as much inside this car. I mean, look how big those windows are, and then you got more window space here, more window there, and more window back there. So you're opened up pretty good. Very nice car. You got map holders and tablet holders and all that stuff here. I would never buy a vehicle for my family that didn't have rear air vents in the back if I could buy a new car. So you got the rear air vents. Even got rear, holy cow. You even got rear heated seats in the back on both sides. That's nice. And then down bottom there, take a look at this. Hold on, let's get focused. 2 USBs, another 12 volt. And way down here, that's one of those outlets like you got in your house. That's a 120 volt, 150 watt max outlet. Sweet. Chevy's putting everything into it. Let's give ourselves the armrest test. Now, again, I've tried to be as honest as possible. I'm not a fan of Chevy's armrests. You ask why? Well, I don't like that they put the cup holders right here on the top of the armrest, because when I go to rest my arm here, as you can see, and I'm on a trip, if I got a cup right here, a bottle, it's taken away from my arm spot. And if there's someone sitting over there and we both have cups here, what are we going to do, like that? Yeah, because we don't have any room for our arm. So I would like to see Chevy's engineers do it like I've seen in Lexus and Audi and some of the other brands. Put it here and have it slide out. Okay, that's just my opinion, but you know, that's just little stuff, okay? Other than that, though, it's a very nice armrest and the leather feels good. And if you had to, just use the bottle holders over there if it's bottles. But if you got a McDonald's cup or Burger King or whatever, it's going to have to go right there. You do have some small headrests. And again, the back seats do fold down. You have handles, coat hangers, and LED lights up top. So, and another microphone here if the kids want to talk to Dad on the speakerphone, right? And over here, same thing. Side curtain airbags. We rarely talk about airbags, but you got side curtains in here. You got airbags in the sides of the seats. You got airbags over there, over there. They're all over the place, okay? So lots of airbags, lots of safety, and that's how those safety ratings getting into 4-star and 5-star ratings. And a beautiful look right out there at used cars. I'd much rather be sitting by the lake right now and looking out at the ocean or something like that. But we got a beautiful view of that Chevy Cruze out there, don't we? Yeah, we do. Well, Houston, we got a problem right now. I can't get out the car. The car's unlocked, but its child safety lock is on. What do I do in that situation? I'm gonna try to roll the window down. Okay, that's not working. And the people in the dealership are not even paying attention to me. This is not cool. What do we do? I mean, do I literally have to crawl up to the front right now to get out of this thing? Let's see if the other side over here is unlocked. Oh, thank you. I like how the light comes on up there when the door opens. That's cool. It's a nice car, it really is. And there's child safety locks and the windows, how they're set up like that for kids. When I didn't have kids and I reviewed cars, I never talked about that stuff. But now that I have 2 children that are young, one's 8, the other one's 6, I realize how important it is to have child safety stuff in the back of a car. You never know when your child may open a door while you're driving or roll the window down and stick his head out. You gotta be careful, kids. If there's any kids watching this video, be extremely careful. I've heard of kids throwing their arms out the windows of cars before and something bad happening, okay? So don't do that. And don't try to get out the car when your mom or dad's pulling in the driveway. My son did that one time. We didn't have the child safety lock on the back of the car, and we're backing up into the driveway, and Jackson just opens the door and hops out. I'm like, does he not realize that the car's moving? He's getting out while the car's backing up. What happens? Let me tell you what happens, okay? This door is open, the car is in reverse, he steps down and he stops. Luckily I hit the brakes, but if it didn't, the door here would just came and pushed him over. His leg could have went up under the car and something horrible could have happened. God, thank you for Jesus watching over me and my family that day. So that's your 2018 Traverse Turbo Diesel. If you're in the market for a Chevy and you live in the Carolinas, let's say you live in Somerville, Goose Creek, Charleston, Mount Pleasant, wherever you live, please come and see us at Marchant Chevy. I really think you'll enjoy doing business with us out here. Maybe we're not the huge Chevy store in the big city, but let me tell you folks, go in one of those stores and see how you enjoy it, okay? I'll tell you right now, you're going to enjoy the more relaxed atmosphere, get a great deal, and just enjoy driving on these country roads when you test drive it. Anyways, if you watched the review just because you enjoyed watching the review and you just wanted to learn a little bit something about the car, thank you so much and God bless you. Please hit subscribe on YouTube. Our channel's growing. We went from 10,000 subscribers last month all the way up to almost 11,500 now. So thank you so much. I do appreciate it. Have a blessed day. Visit them online at marchantchevy.com. We'll see you soon.